Yo, what up, people? Smith motherfucking R here today, of course, to tell you guys why you, of course, should check out Avatar: Last Airbender if you haven't already. Because, I mean, legit, you should have already. But if you haven't, why the fuck not? So let's start off with the character introductions. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I didn't really do all the characters because there are too many, and I want to make it somewhat spoiler-free. But let's just say there are a lot more characters than just those four that you really can enjoy and get into. Because this is a very good, like, sort of cartoon slash anime. It really is. It is the only thing that America has really made that can step up to the plate when you really think about it against other Japanese animes. Avatar: The Last Airbender is the only real thing that we got that's a solid foothold when it comes to animation. Considering the fact that it was made in America, by Americans, and it takes like place with Asian characters. That's something we can really be proud of. But either way, Avatar is a really great cartoon. And so let me get a little bit more into the whole series of it. So basically, like I said before, we got Aang, we got Katara, we got all these motherfuckers. But Aang, let's just talk about him, okay? Basically, Aang is the Avatar. He's the Avatar for this era. And after being trapped in ice for over 100 years during this time, to find out that the Fire Nation has basically took over the entire world and all the other nations, and basically it's his job to try and step up, take out the Fire Nation, and make it a very peaceful place. Because it's sort of like after war era. The Fire Nation fucking attacked, everybody got wiped out at like the same moment, and then Fire Nation like, here we are, motherfucker, here we are. And so Aang's job as Avatar, because he has the ability to learn all four of the elements: air, water, fire, and earth. And his job, of course, is to learn all the elements. But there is sort of a catch, because I mean, it isn't like you can just learn them instantly. He has a considerable amount of talent when it comes to learning them, but it still takes him a while to get used to it. And he has to do this all in order to defeat, as the true Avatar, the Fire Nation Lord, who really hasn't been seen, and I'm not going to go into spoiler territory about him, but let's just say he's a badass motherfucker. That's enough said. And it has a pretty somewhat linear story. Basically, book 1, book 2, and book 3. And each book is basically him training a different element. Book 3 being the last one where it's fire. But it starts off with water, then earth, and then fire. And throughout each of these, he gets his own master to teach him one of these elements, which I really want to, I really do, but I'm not going to really spoil the masters. All I'm going to say is that it is very interesting, because it's a linear story. Unlike I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but Avatar, after, of course, it originally aired, which was made by Nickelodeon, it had a remake come up, like a whole second season. It's basically like hundreds of years in the future, after the Avatar died. Like, Aang died and he had children, and there's sort of like a little small air tribe. And it takes place with a different main character who is female. And she basically knows all the elements except for air, and she's trying to learn air while fighting a different villain, and it seems like each book, like the first one, like it doesn't have the same type of feel that Avatar: The Last Airbender had, and that's why some people say, oh my god, fuck this shit. Me, in my personal opinion, fuck it, watch it if you want, why not? It still has the same type of abilities and powers, it's just the story is 100% different. Because I mean, it's this woman, and she's cocky, and she already knows like all the fucking technique. There's no real training going on. She doesn't really have any big sense of danger until the villains start showing up. And the villains, it seems, are more on this whole side of Avatar originally was, okay, we gotta bring back these other kingdoms, we gotta take out the Fire Nation, who they think they are, fucking enslaving all these other kingdoms and nations. No, fuck that, we gotta take them out, we gotta restore peace and balance to the world. And in this one, it's more like the separation of the people who can use elements, who can bend them, and the people who can't. That's how at least the first book seemed. But a little bit more with Avatar, I really enjoy the story. I really do, because it has great fight scenes. It has a really incredible immersive story that, like I said, it's right there. It's right there with animes from Japan, and that's a really good accomplishment for us. I mean, it really is. And although it did have a movie, Avatar. Wrong movie, bro. Oh yeah, fucking The Last Airbender. Oh yeah, Avatar is a definite must-watch. Avatar, The Last Airbender, fuck that shit. That shit can go die in a hole. It is the worst piece of shit possibly ever made. No, fuck that. They destroyed the fucking series. They made live action a horrible thing that, like, yo, like at first it's like, oh, okay, this is sort of interesting. They're making a movie about it. Then you see the movie and it's complete and utter shit. It just is. There's no way around it. What do you think? Exactly. It's shit. It's just complete and utter shit. And do not ever watch the movie, because it's just a waste. It's just a waste. It was a waste being made. It was a waste when it was out. It is just a piece of shit garbage that should be forgotten, because it ruins this fucking series. It really does. It just spit on the series, and then it rubbed it in fucking shit, and then just decide, you know what? Just for good luck charms, we're gonna take this and we're gonna go put it in the bottom of the fucking ocean and light it on fire with magic. Like, yeah, fuck it. Like, it's just a horrible fucking remake. It really is. It's really bad, and you should never, ever, for any reason, watch that shit. Avatar, on the other hand, is the shit, and trust me, when I first saw Avatar, I don't know how the fuck it's going from Avatar to Avatar, that's Airbender. Fuck it is. Avatar would have been a much greater movie, even though it made no fucking sense, to Avatar: The Last Airbender at all. I would have still preferred that to the piece of shit that they made. It doesn't have to be the same shit, and I would much rather have it. That's enough said. Fuck that piece of shit. So much CGI, and it looks so unrealistic, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, why is... Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. Agreed? Now let's get into some of the other characters. Mostly they're Aang's friends and acquaintances that he meets through along the way, and also some villains. Of course, let's start off with the first two people that he actually meets when he gets out the iceberg, and they are from the Southern Water Tribe, and they are Katara and Sokka. And Sokka, he wants to be a man of his village, but because of the war, he really can't participate in it because he's too young, so he took it as himself to protect the village, along with, kids and stuff like that. But once he goes out with Aang, he becomes so much different. But he is a comic relief character. But he is such a good character, I cannot lie. He adds comedy when it needs to be. He's very intelligent and smart, and he's a very skillful fighter as it continues on. He gains skills, and I really enjoy that. And then we got Katara, and she is a waterbender, and she's the only one in the Southern tribe that is a waterbender, because apparently benders have been persecuted by the Fire Nation. She's the only person there that is, of course, a Southern Water Tribe waterbender. She's the only person there is that's left, and that's a very interesting story. And she also, throughout this trip stuff, she's a very strong person, and she goes through her own trials, and she's a pretty good waterbender. And at the end of book 1, it just starts going, oh my god, it's all about the water. Book 2, it's all about the earth, and then they meet their second trainer, which I won't get into, but it's yes. And then book 3, it's like, oh shit, shit got real. But besides those two, I want to bring up a couple other ones, and that is, of course, Prince Zuko. Prince Zuko is the main antagonist, I would love to say, for this anime, in a way, besides the Fire Lord. And basically his job is, in order to regain his honor, he has to bring the Avatar to his father in order to be able to sit in the same spot that he did. And he is accompanied through this journey, searching after him. He keeps looking, and he's accompanied by his uncle. And his uncle is basically the Fire Lord's brother. And he himself used to be a crazy powerful dude, apparently. Like, he's hyped up. He's like, yo, man, he was one of the forefronts of the army. He was one of the, he's crazy. But now he's just a funny, fat old man. It's like, uncle is a really good dude. I'm enjoying him. He has that whole wise man persona, but he's also funny at the same time. So I really enjoy the old man, his uncle, who they refer to as most of the time Uncle. And then there are a couple other characters, like Zuko ends up having like a sister, and there are a lot of different characters that are introduced that have some relevance, usually to the story. There are. There are pirates in this, there are firebenders, and I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy this anime. I really do. I mean, it's probably one of the best that I've seen so far, and I really recommend, if you haven't checked it out already, that you seriously consider watching this. I mean, it is somewhat long. It kind of is. I mean, each book is like, I believe, was it either, yeah, each book is like a good anime season put into one. Like, each book was amazing. It really was. And when you take into account, the whole way that the story goes about this kid literally fighting the world, you just can't help but root for him and really love his character. He is Luffy at, he's pretty goofy at times. He really is. But other times, when he has to be serious, he takes stuff seriously. And that's all I'm really going to discuss about the Avatar. And I really recommend that you guys check it out, along with the movie Avatar. Fuck The Last Airbender. Fuck that shit. That shit can go die in a hole. Fuck whoever made it. Worst piece of shit ever. So with that being said, smash some motherfucking R. Peace the fuck out. And check this shit out.